All right, let's take a look at 2D arrays. Two-dimensional arrays is really nothing fancy. It's just an array that holds arrays. So we know that arrays can hold strings. We know they can hold integers. We know they can hold objects. But in this case, the array holds other arrays. So we call these two-dimensional arrays. Sometimes we'll call it a grid. Sometimes we'll call it a matrix. Has lots of different names, but it's all the same thing. So let's start off by just showing you how to make one. Okay, so it's very similar to when we made arrays the first time. Instead of one set of square brackets, now we have two. Instead of just saying how many elements we're going to have in it, this is how many elements we're going to have in the array, which again, that's how many arrays we're going to have in this array. And then in each of those arrays, we will have 4 elements in all of those arrays. So basically, you can think about it as saying we're going to have 3 rows and 4 columns. So 3 arrays that each contain 4 elements in them. So 12 total elements here. We can also, like we did before, we can create a matrix that's, or we can create an array that's already filled in. So you'll see here, I've got these 3 arrays inside my arrays, inside my array. So let me show you an example here. So this guy right here, it's a string matrix, okay? It's got arrays that have strings inside. Now, just like before, if you don't actually fill in the array, it's going to fill it in with default values. So again, for integers, that's 0. For doubles, that's 0.0. For booleans, that's false. For strings or any other objects, it's going to start by being null. Okay? Whereas here, I've filled in the matrix. By the way, you don't have to write it this way. You can always fill it out this way if you want. I feel like that's less clear in most situations. So just for a readability thing, we usually do something like this so that the person reading it can get a better feel for what's inside. The other thing I feature here, this is not something you need to know for the AP test, but if you import java.util, you can use arrays.deep2string. Deep2string is how we are going to convert these two-dimensional matrices, or these 2D arrays, these matrices, to a string that we can print out. And that could be really nice just to see what it's going to look like. Okay, so that is it for introducing that.